This wall repair stuff looks purple, but it actually dries white. I got the quick dry, so we've got to do this fast. Get it out onto your canvas. I just picked up this canvas at the thrift store for less than $10. So once you get it on the canvas, oh, get that tag off of there. Just take it and just spread it out. Spread it all over your canvas. Make sure you remove any grease or dust from the canvas by wiping it down first. Put this all over. Make sure you get from edge to edge. Make sure you get as much of it out as possible. This is the 32-ounce bucket, so make sure you get it all the way out to the edge, but don't get it on this outside frame. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that frame in just a second, but we are going to work from edge to edge on this. Watch how quickly this stuff dries. You can already see it starting to adhere to the canvas. So get as close to the edge as you can and just keep working that so it doesn't dry too fast. If you do get it on the edge of the frame, just wipe it off with a damp paper towel. This stuff is so easy to work with. The first time I worked with this stuff, I couldn't believe that it goes on pink but dries white. That blew me away. Once you get all of this on, just go back in with your spatula, or you could actually use a putty knife if you have one, but this is working good. Just kind of go over so it's not uniform, and make sure that you give it some 3D effect by leaving those creases up like that. This is going to make this look perfect. After you get everything spread out on your canvas, take your last glob and put it right in the center so you have an elevated space. That is going to make sense in just a few seconds. The thing I love about this is it's such a budget-friendly DIY, especially if you can find a piece of framed artwork at the thrift store like I did. Now, while this is drying, take some painter's tape. Just tape off the edge of the frame. You can always paint the frame if you like, but for what I'm creating, this natural wood look is perfect for this. Now, once you get that taped off, just continue to let this dry. I do not recommend letting this sit out in the sun to dry, no matter how impatient we get, because you don't want this to crack. If it cracks a little, it's okay, but if it cracks a lot, crack is whack. Check this out. Okay, look how this is drying. So the thinner parts have already turned white. The thicker parts are still a little purple. So we're gonna give it a few more minutes and then we're gonna get down to business. Spray paint time. I'm using Seaside. This is a gloss, but you can use a matte. Just take it and then just spray along the edge. Now that's why we taped off the edges like we did. Now we can let this dry. Hang tight. I do love these acrylic paints from the dollar store because it's so easy to clean up. So just take the blue and just do a few lines just like this. Don't put it on too thick because you can always add more later if we need to. So just do that right down to the bottom. Then that's the blue. Now we're going to take white. Yes, even though the caulking is white, let's add on some white. This one, I didn't have the big bottle. I have the small one, but I think it's going to be enough. But make sure you save a little bit because we're going to need just a little bit more at the end. This teal is perfect for this as well. It's very similar to what I used on the spray paint on the outside, but this is just a little bit richer. Oh, I got a little bit too much. Here's the last color. This is an option. I'm throwing this in. This is a satin acrylic. This is just some green, but I'm just going to take this off and I'm just going to put just a little bit. So just kind of like drop it on. There's no method to this madness other than it's madness. I'm using a wide bristled brush. That's hard to say. Wide bristled brush. Just take it and then just paint that and smear it all together. It's okay. Get down into those creases as much as you can. but don't get it down in there if you can't find it easy enough to do, because it is going to work out where those are playing to our favor. So just keep going over and over. I don't know if I'm crazy about that green that I added there at the end. Let's see what it looks like when I'm finished. That might be the best thing I added to this. Okay, so remember, you can paint over this glob that's in the middle, but there's something that there's a reason why that's there, and I can't wait to show you. This is probably going to be one of the most affordable and luxurious looking pieces of art you're gonna make from my channel. This is going to look off the charts. So I feel like this is looking a little too green. So I'm gonna come in here with this blue. I was a little light-handed with this blue, only because I was afraid I was gonna get it too dark. But in reality, I just made it a little too light and a little too green. So where I feel like I need more blue, I'm just gonna add a little bit more. Down here, just on this side is a little heavy with the blue already. And then just take that brush. I should probably clean this brush, but I'm just going to come in and drag that blue through. Oh yeah, that was a good decision. So drag that through. You can do a little bit of, well, I don't know what we want to call that. I guess we could call it like roller coaster hills or backcountry hills. That's what it is. Just do a little bit of that. Add a little bit more dimension to it. Make sure you get out here to the edges, but try not to get on this edge of the canvas here that we left with just that teal. Okay, let's grab the white. I'm just gonna set this to the side. I'm gonna take the white. I'm gonna just put a little bit here on the counter because that'll make it easier. So just take the white, take the tip of your finger, and where you see these peaks like here, just take the white and just kind of dab it on there, just like so. Just follow those. Don't make it too globby, but just enough on there. Let's do another one just so you can see. Let's do right here in front of where this, I call that the molehill, where the molehill is. Didn't it look like that? I remember as kids having those out in the yard, not knowing what it was. I didn't know what a mole was. Okay, so just take your finger again and just put it right on top of that 3D effect that we left. And then do it here along the edge as well. Just try to keep it off of the canvas. You can drag this down. Just like that. Okay, perfect. And then we'll do a little bit more here. You don't have to do every single one of these because you want, oh, this is good here, right here above that blue. I love this stuff. So this is epoxy. Some people call it resin. I've worked with several of these. This one is great. It comes in 2 parts. So you measure out the same amount of each in 2 separate, oh, something in that cup, in 2 separate containers. So let's fill this one up. We're not gonna put it all the way up to the top. We're gonna put it up to that little ridge there. Okay, it's a little below that. So we're gonna do that with the second one as well. So you want to make sure you pour the exact same amount because these are, that you marry them. So you put them in the same container and then you mix them. I don't know why I thought that was gonna fit in here. So let's mix these two. So just pour them in together. Make sure you get it all out of there. Now, if you work with certain epoxies, they have a strong odor. So you will want to do it outdoors, or you should do it with a mask on. Okay, now that we've got those done, I'm gonna set that to the side. This one actually came from Hobby Lobby. It was on sale. I didn't pay $19, but even at $19, as much use as I've got out of this, it was really worth it. So what you do is you just stir this together for 2 minutes. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you're using a disposable container or something that you were gonna get rid of anyway, because you can't rinse these and repeat. Make sure you read the directions on the one that you get, because the directions on this say after you mix it for 2 minutes, pour it into a brand new container, something that hasn't been contaminated, and then just mix it again for another 1 to 2 minutes. You're gonna get bubbles in this inevitably But for this project, it actually is okay if you do have bubbles. You're about to understand why. But normally I would let this set on the counter for 10, 12 minutes just to let any of the bubbles pop up and go to the top. You could tap it right on the counter just to get them to go up. But for this, it doesn't matter. Okay, so find areas of your canvas that have little indentations. So you're going to do this carefully. So just pour the epoxy right down in there. Go slow, like it's a little, like you're pouring pancake syrup. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. I'm gonna put some here. Right there. Now the epoxy, you're gonna have to let this dry overnight. So make sure you're doing this, let's put some here, in a space where you're not gonna have to move this. You wouldn't wanna do this on your kitchen counter if you're gonna be having dinner or supper, depending on where in the country you're from. Okay, let's put a little bit more here. I thought about covering this entire thing with the resin, but then I was like, I think that's gonna be too much for this. So we're just gonna pick a few select places and fill it in, and it will settle. Look how that's settling. Oh, I love that. Okay, let's put a little bit more here. Now, once this dries, this is going to look even better than it already does. Perfect. Okay, make sure you don't put it along the side. You're not gonna wanna get it there, because then it will run down into the side of your frame or out your frame. Oh, I love this. Okay, I'm gonna put a few more places of this on this canvas, and then the grand finale. I learned this little trick probably in arts and crafts back in high school. If you're working with resin and you have those bubbles, if you just hit it, look at that, with a little bit of flame, those bubbles disappear right away. So let's do these. Watch this. They're gone, just like that. I'm gonna hit these here, and they're gone. So for this one, I could have just left the bubbles because of the aesthetic of this. So if you do resin on any other project, now you know. You just hit it with a little bit of flame. Love it. Now that the resin is dry, I'm going to add a little bit more of this blue. So just put a little bit out on your working surface. Just take a paintbrush and just get a little bit on there. Now, find where we put the resin. And where the resin is, you're gonna just take the blue and you're just gonna put some low lights there. I almost said highlight, but yeah, low light, right along the edge. So we'll do a little bit more right here, just to give this a little bit more depth. I love how the resin just like looks like water almost. It just shines. Here's a good little pool here. So let's just put this right here on top, right along the edge. Just like so. And then you can come in from the other side. I'm using my left hand here. Let me get back to my right hand. Just a little bit there, right along that resin. You're gonna wanna make sure that your resin is 100% dry. I am adding some more white to these peaks. I feel like once it dried, like I didn't get the effect that I wanted. So just take that around just like so, and then just kind of like wipe some of it off. Yeah, I got a little bit too much. So wipe some of that off. Oh, but I do like that. Okay. Put a little bit more here. And then just wipe it just a little bit more. There's one there. I didn't get any at all. There. Just a little bit. I have to be careful. I don't want to go overboard with it. So you know me, I like things over the top, but with this one, it doesn't need to be over the top. I think the more subtle, the better on this. That's why I didn't add as much of this blue as I thought I was gonna add. So don't go heavy-handed with the blue or the white, but I am gonna put just a little bit more right here. You're gonna have to let me know in the comments whether you like that green or not. I'm kind of digging it, but I'm not 90, I'm about 95% sure I like it. So you all let me know. Okay, here we need some more white here. I'm so excited. Before we add on the star of the show to the center, let's remove this tape Remember that this is a natural wood frame. Oh, I love how easy this comes off. And as soon as I say that, that part didn't come off. But no, this is going to be perfect. Oh my gosh, I love this. That wood tone is amazing. And remember, I got this frame at a thrift store for less than $10. So that is the best part of this. So if you, again, like affordable DIYs, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you will not miss out on any of these. You can always go into my library and catch up on the past ones just in case you missed something. Everything from holidays to home decor, a little cooking now and again. I'm so glad you all are here and are part of my community. I love it. I'm using a bamboo skewer. You could use a safety pin or anything. Just poke a few holes down into this caulking, just so when you put the glue on here, it goes down in there and it anchors it, okay? So let's put the glue on. Here we go. A good dollop of glue. You don't want to put too much. Okay, let it start to gel up and harden just a little bit. Okay, it's just like that. I'm just gonna blow on it. That way we can get this done with. Okay, now I'm gonna add it to it. I have to tell you, I think this is my favorite home decor I have ever done. Look how awesome that turned out. Does it not look like a shark in water? And have I got a surprise for you? Check this out. I made a smaller version. I am going to post a limited number of these on thegootshop.com. So if you want to have one of these as a gift to yourself or a loved one or just a friend that you think dearly of, just go to thegootshop.com and grab yourself one. And as always, if I can do this, you can do this. Wow.